be an overlap between the two.
There does not have to be an overlap.
Okay, thank you.
You can do, if
Sequential.
council decides, you can do it in sequence.
I'd be willing to vote for a waiver of limitation that's provided within the statute, within the ordinance. It's provided in there that we can grant a waiver. It's within our power, as long as we don't make as a condition of that they have to withdraw their.
With no contingencies.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Say it again. So
Another-
here's what the statement in the council action form says. The applicant must withdraw the rezone application.
That's exactly correct. What I'm saying is that needs to be struck if we're going to move
So
forward.
you want to bend it again further?
No, it's not bending anything.
Well, you're bending it once because we're granting a special use permit on an operation that's already ongoing.
It's
We're
not
granting
bending.
a waiver.
We're granting
A waiver of limitation.
I'm sorry, you're granting a waiver
Mhm.
to consider another application,
In the event that the rezone does not get.
which it says he must, if you want the waiver, he must
That's not
withdraw.
part of the code that you're reading, though. That's part of the.
Well, I guess
Well,
I'm
that's not
asking,
part of
what,
the code.
you wrote that, I guess.
I think that was my contention.
Well,
What's
and
the
actually,
basis-
actually,
What's the basis of that statement then? Is it,
It's not that explicitly stated in code. That's really, from a practical management perspective, what is appropriate and fair under the circumstances, given the request that we not charge another application fee. If you look at the code, the section, it's provided here, there's some latitude in how you interpret it and how you enforce it, how you administer it.
Mhm.
And I believe you have the latitude to make the decision whether or not they can let the rezone process run its course and then preemptively or proactively grant them a waiver on successive grant them the waiver of limitation on successive applications, notwithstanding any advice from
well,
council on that. But
I understand. I mean, this is a problem that's gone on for a while, since March. I think the applicants have sat through some planning commission meetings and understand the difficulties planning commission was having with this. I think that they've got a understanding that planning commission was leaning towards special use permit being the preferred method. They have filed a rezone application. Our community development director has brought us forward a recommendation. It's something that was reviewed and approved by the city administrator before it ended up on the agenda. I think that, to Larry's point, I don't know that this is one where we should be striking language from the staff recommendation. I think that maybe this deserves an up or down vote. Either way, the property owners, the applicants are going to have an opportunity to either get their property rezoned or be granted a special use permit. And that's my 2 cents on the matter.
Mhm. So let me get this straight. If we approve this CAF as it currently is written, will that allow the applicant to continue their rezone application?
No.
Then I think that kind of makes a decision for us.
so it's one or the other? They cannot continue with the rezone.
If we
go by the
yes
staff
on this,
recommendation.
If we
then
say yes
he
on
has
this,
to withdraw
the
the
rezone's
rezone.
over, and they may or may not be getting some of the money back. Is
No,
that
the
what-
rezone's not
If-
over.
if
They
you're
have
at-
a choice to make.
Go ahead.
if you're asking me, I'd say
Yes,
what
I
this
am.
is saying, you're giving them a choice.
Self-determined.
So they can leave the building tonight and say, well, we have the permission to withdraw the rezone and submit a special use permit application. Do I want to do that? And they can say, no, I don't want to do that.
Okay,
I'm going to let the
that's-
rezone run its course. But that isn't the way this is put together. That's not saying that they could later on say, oh, the rezone didn't get approved, so now I'm going to submit my special use permit application.
Right.
If that's what you are intending as a governing body, I think you need to be very specific about that.
That's exactly right.
Again, I believe that there's latitude in the ordinance for you to provide direction about this. This is an unusual situation.
Mhm.
This isn't a situation where someone went through the process, they got denied, and they said, oh, I got denied after going through that whole process, now I want to try a different approach.
I have a question for Jim. As I read this, I don't know how the council we can only vote yes or no on the waiver. We can't have a contingency in there that's actionable after the fact. From a legal standpoint, we can't say yes if you remove. I don't think we can go that. We can say yes, we give you permission we will grant the waiver, but we can't say only if, can we?
My feeling is exactly what you just said. You either grant the waiver or you don't without conditions.
Without the
If
contingencies.
you want to table the waiver until the next meeting and see what they do on the rezoning, then you can do that. But vote up or down on the waiver.
I move that we table this decision until after the next planning commission meeting.
Second.
Motion, Fodovich, second, shoot that we table new business item number 5.
But
Any further comment?
absolutely. If we were to table this now and Mr. Jones and Mr. Singh decide at this point to pull their rezoning application, they have to wait for the waiver to come back before council to go upon. I'm not sure what you think is going to change in that time that we can't vote on the waiver at this point. The waiver are unique circumstances. I mean, the waiver is exactly as it's written here. It's not dependent on one or the other. But if we table it, they can't move unless they want to move forward with, put it to the planning commission for a rezoning. Because if they withdraw that, they have to wait until they come back to us September the 3rd at the very earliest for a permission to reapply for the special use permit. So we've delayed it even further.
But but here's the thing, one of the objections Mr. Jones cited was he doesn't know which direction to go. He said 5 years, then 2 years. By going through the rezoning, it's permanent, right?
Yes.
So it would be, he would know, which was one of the reasons he cited for the confusion in working with the city, which I know you're very big on, not putting obstacles in the way of getting business done between the planning commission and the city government and small businesses. So I would think that by allowing this to run its course, you're actually helping him, because that's one of the things he cited as a problem here, is that he doesn't know which way to go. If we table this, then we'll know in how many weeks? 1 week? 2 weeks?
1 week.
Planning Commission would meet next week, and you would come back the following week for the city council meeting.
And he might get his wish. Is that correct?
But just to be clear, you will not know that until it goes to the governing body to make the decision.
They're only
So-
coming back with a recommendation. We have to actually vote upon it.
Yeah.
So you've delayed it further.
Right.
So
We should vote on it.
Well, we should.
Unless they,
I mean, we should vote on the rezoning. You're exactly right, if that's the side he wants to continue. But I think what Heath is saying is this is allowing him the option. And really this, to me, is saving him time. If something happens with the rezoning, whether he agrees to move forward with it or not, but if he does and it gets to council and council denies it, then we've saved him additional time with having to come back before council to apply for the waiver and then turn around and have to fill out the special use again. That, to me, is what this really boils down to.
He's operating without a permit anyway, so I don't know what is the time matter.
I just
Motion on
would
the
like to
floor.
think we have to get some resolution to it. I mean,
There is a motion on the floor, motion Fodovich, second shoot that we table new business item number 5. Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
no.
Tabling the item fails. Does anyone want to make a motion regarding the staff recommendation?
I move that the city council waive the limitation on successive applications and direct the community Development Director to accept a special use permit application for used car sales at 18865